Recently, Senator Kelly Loeffler was outed as having done some shady trades after she, of course, dumped millions of dollars in stock prior to the financial crash related to COVID-19. So those were her shady trades, right? Now, as part of Congress, she had information on the possible financial impacts of the virus. And while she claims she didn't use that knowledge to enrich herself, more disclosures that have come out show a different story. Now, this is according to a report in Mediaite. Now, new financial disclosures from Kelly Loeffler revealed that she had dumped more stocks last month than she had, and then reinvested in a medical company making equipment that is now being used to fight COVID 19. Now, Loeffler, who was married to Jeffrey Sprecher, chairman of the New York Stock Exchange and CEO of the business services company Intercontinental Exchange, has been under scrutiny for weeks ever since it is reported that she had made dozens of stock sales after getting briefed on COVID 19 months ago. And so the Atlanta Journal Constitution published a report on Wednesday on Loeffler's latest financial disclosure forms, and Intercontinental Exchange sold $18.7 million worth of stock in 3 deals from late February to early March. AGC reported that Sprecher also sold off stock he and his wife held with multiple retail stores, then invested in a company that produces personal protective gear, which remains in high demand because of the current health crisis. Sprecher bought $206,774 worth in chemical giant DuPont in 4 transactions in late February and early March. DuPont has performed poorly on Wall Street, but the company is a major supplier of desperately needed personal protective gear as the global pandemic strains hospitals and first responders. And so let me stop there for a second, right? So just the fact that DuPont is not doing great shouldn't be an indication that, oh no, she's innocent, right? No, you can do insider trading with knowledge and still not come out ahead. But you can also do insider trading and basically save money. And that's what this is, right? So anytime that there's a huge dip in the market, what you want to do, what would be great is if you would get out of those, you would save money by getting your money out, by selling your shares, right? When it's high, and then buying low, right? That's generally how you do well in the stock market. You sell high, buy low. And so that's what they're doing. If you have insider information as a member of Congress, you are more able to do that than the regular investor. And so there's that, right? So now let me give you more details. Now, the couple also dumped $70,958 in stock from retail clothier Ross Stores. This is one of the retailers, right? And a similar sale of $27,580 in stock from TJX COS, the parent corporation of TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Sprecher also unloaded stock worth $56,693 in the upscale yoga clothier Lululemon in early March, just after the stock dipped from its all-time high. So I tell you all that information just to show you exactly what trades were made and in what companies. So right now, we're in the midst of a global, what looks to be a global recession could even be worse than a depression, right? So high-end clothes, people are not going to be buying those, right? Nobody cares about Lululemon right now, right? And so, yes, you dump that stock, you save money. You dump stock in all these high-end clothing lines, you save money. So it makes a lot of sense, right? So now she sits in Congress, gets briefed on this, right, on COVID-19. And then, by the way, her husband, while, he's running the stock exchange, they both, with that insider information, allegedly, dump stocks in retail, which are facing huge hardships, and invest in medical supply companies who are in high demand right now. That's really strange. Now, are we supposed to believe that her advanced knowledge of the crisis had nothing to do with any of her stock sales? Nothing. I mean, that's what she claims, right? Are you kidding me? No, she was trying to save money. The stocks that were sold had lost an average of value of approximately 32%. They lost over 30% of their value. That's a lot of money down the drain. Especially if you've invested in the millions, and you may have lost millions of dollars. Both her and her husband avoided losing a lot of money. And yet she says, no, I had nothing to do with this, right? I had nothing to do with the decisions to sell the stock. I didn't use my advanced knowledge. No. All of our trades are totally above board. Oh, what a lucky break then for you. I don't believe it though. Trash. She's trash. She's trash, and she belongs in prison. Period. I mean, we did not have access to that information. She did. It's not a fair playing field. That's why we have things like the Stock Act, right? If you're a sitting politician, I'm going to go further, right? Because I think the Stock Act is too weak. I think that if you're a politician, you shouldn't be able to have stock at all. You shouldn't be able to own stock, period. And you should immediately be forced to divest from your businesses under criminal penalty. That's it. Give up your investments. Now, some of you might be saying, well, wow, too harsh. What are you doing? Just because they're a politician doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to own stock. No, because it's corruption. You should not be able to own stock, right? Because here, the whole reason that you're in office is you're supposed to be a public servant, right? You're supposed to serve the public, not yourself. When you own stock in companies, when you have investments, it doesn't matter if it's a blind trust, right? The decisions that you make will ultimately help one company or another. That's the undeniable reality of being a lawmaker. So you should be forced to divest completely, because you should not make any money from being in office. You shouldn't make lobbying money, right? You should only make your congressional salary. Because look, it wasn't designed to be this way. It was designed that, hey, you come and you serve in office for a couple of weeks, pass some laws, and you go back to the farm, right? Obviously, it doesn't work that way anymore. Now it's like a year-long job in which they take tons and tons of vacations and breaks and go back to their, their districts and go and campaign and beg for money. Look, the thing is that we should rethink how much they can actually profit from office. I think they should profit not at all. I think they should just get the congressional salary, and that's it, $140,000 a year. Some of you may disagree with me, but I think that is the best way to clamp down in this corruption, right? I mean, because think about it, right? Are we really going to trust politicians to not put their own financial well-being above ours, above the country, above their duty in office? I mean, if you do, you're 100% naive. You don't really understand human nature. That's why we need laws, we need rules, and we need a body to enforce those rules. Lafleur, I think, did insider trading. I think it's fairly obvious, right? And if we're going to have laws, they need to apply to everyone, even incredibly wealthy as she is, congresspeople. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.